Today, we're talking about chaos! Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? The theory is that a butterfly can flap its wings all the way in Japan, and that effect can come all the way and create a tornado in Kansas, which whisks away Dorothy and Toto to Oz! The butterfly effect is a very important part of what we're talking about today, the chaos theory. One morning in 1961, a meteorology professor at MIT named Edward Lorenz was running some weather tests on a computer. Meteorologists are scientists who study weather, so this was a pretty normal morning for him. When Lorenz fed some weather conditions into his computer program, like such and such temperature and so humidity, his computer would make a graph that told him how the weather would turn out. It wasn't always right, but it was close enough to make models of sunny days and spotted showers. This particular morning, Lorenz was rerunning a test that he'd been trying out for a few days. He put in his numbers, saw his computer program start, then went out to get a cup of coffee. He had a pretty good idea on how it was going to go. But when he came back, something really strange had happened. The computer had made a graph that was wildly different than all the other ones. Lorenz looked at the numbers he put in and saw something. In his other tests, he'd used the number 0.506127. In this morning's test, he'd used 0.506. He'd rounded the number because those extra decimal places didn't seem too important. Simply put, the difference in those numbers is like taking a few raindrops out of a thunderstorm. Just because you're missing a few raindrops, you should still get a thunderstorm. But somehow, those two missing raindrops turned a would-be thunderstorm into a drizzle. This shocking result led Lorenz to come up with the chaos theory, one of the most important scientific ideas of the 20th century. So scientists realized that things that they used to think were completely random were actually chaotic, which means they're very complex, sometimes too complex to always predict. But they all have patterns that can be understood, all thanks to chaos theory. There's things in life that show predictable patterns, and there's things in life that show complex, chaotic patterns. You may have even ridden one or two. Have you ever ridden a roller coaster? Those are engineered to give the same ride every time. How about a Ferris wheel? It goes round and round and round, and pretty much gives the same ride every time as well. But have you ever been in bumper cars, or a tilt-a-whirl, or the crazy dizzy machine called the zipper? All of those rides have so many variables that each ride is very different every time. So see, you can find chaos at the carnival. But since we can't build a tilt wheel or bumper cars, we built this! It's a double pendulum, and it's going to show us an example of chaos theory. can chaos theory relate to our life? Basically, there's lots of things that happen in life, and some are good, and some are not so good. But God has one really awesome promise in the Bible that covers it all. All things work together for good for those who love God. So whatever happened yesterday, whatever's happening today, or whatever's happening tomorrow, whether it's boring and predictable or it's chaos, we can relax because God's got it covered.